All right, let's try. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new show called One-on-One with head coach Rick Wedlow. We'll be here hopefully every Monday at around 10:15 to talk some Richmond High School basketball. As you know by now, the season will not begin on Wednesday as originally scheduled. The season will begin on Saturday on the road at Hamilton, Ohio. And Coach Wedlow, kind enough to be with us. We're here at the Tiernan Center live on a Monday. Great to have you with us. And, well, I tell you what, you've already gone through kind of a whirlwind this whole season so far, and we haven't even played our first game, have we?
Man, it's part of it, and part of being a competitor and being involved in athletics is you have to be able to adjust. And we're not going to feel sorry for ourselves. We're not going to make any excuses. What we're going to do is just adjust and adapt and make the most out of the opportunity that we have this Saturday.
Talk about the experience from the time that you took over as the head coach to now, and how, I don't want to use the word difficult, but has the transition been pretty smooth? Has it been more than you thought, less than you thought? How has it been for you personally as well?
Well, I'm very appreciative of the opportunity and very grateful of the support that I've received from our athletic director, Frank Carr, and our administration, with Ray Whoopi up to Todd Terrell at the top of the chain. And it's been a lot more than I could ever imagine being a head coach. And when I say a lot more, it's just the things that you have to be involved with off the court.
Yeah.
Going into this, you think, I just want to coach my basketball team.
Yeah. Doesn't work that way, does it?
When you're the head coach of Richmond basketball, a program at the level that we are on, there's a lot going on. And it's very important that our staff, myself, we get out in the community and make sure we have our youth leagues going. And we've partnered with our county teams, led by Mark Detweiler and Kerry Brown. We're in the Dirt Road Basketball League on Sundays.
Good.
So we've got a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade team playing in that. Our 2nd through 6th grade league will start playing the first week of December. And that all going along with trying to develop our freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. And so it's been a whirlwind, but it's part of the job. And I've learned a lot about some of the things that you have to do off the court in terms of just making sure Frank Carr and I are on the same page.
Right.
Make sure we're communicating effectively, efficiently, and just every day I have a checklist, and we go through that checklist, but it seems like you just never it's always something going on. So It's been a little challenging. I've had my overwhelming feelings at a few moments, but
Sure.
That's when I just, stay close to my family and make sure I tell my wife I love her, and Ricky I love him, and stay close to the guys that I trust and the guys I know to have my back. And so far it's been good. Everything's been positive. Just so much to learn.
Yeah.
As a first year coach, and I'm just excited to have the opportunity to learn how to be a total package in terms of just not X's and O's on the basketball court, but running a program and doing it right and being a leader.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Well, that's what you said right there. For those that have never run a program, I mean, yeah, we'd all love to just get out and coach.
Sure.
But it doesn't work that way. We're talking from top to bottom, so the X's and O's are just really and realistically just a very small part of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been some days I've taken some days to just visit all the elementary schools, meet with all the principals, and that's from all the elementary schools, the intermediate schools, just getting everything lined up for gym times and making sure I'm connected with the custodians and those types of things, getting all the registration forms out, and but again, it's part of the job. And our numbers have been really good this year for youth basketball. In fact, we have 5 third and fourth grade teams.
Good.
In Richmond with 10 to 11 players per team. Fifth and sixth grade, and that's on the third and fourth grade level. Fifth and sixth grade level, we have we have 5 teams on that level. I have 2 dentist teams, 2 test teams. I have a Hibbert team.
Oh, no kidding. Good.
And Seton will join our league. They'll play in our youth league as well. Just part of, having a true city league. And so we'll have 2 6 teams divisions, third and fourth grade. We have 3 second grade groups that'll be playing some games. And this Saturday we had our second weekend of Little Devil basketball.
Good.
We have about 35, 40 kids, and it's pretty evenly balanced. Very impressed with our young ladies. Girls basketball is heading in the right direction, and we've got some great young fellas out there working hard too, having fun. So it's a blast, man, and I'm excited for the season. I know our guys are excited. We've been playing against each other since the 1st of September, and so that gets old. And so fortunately, Thursday night we had a pretty good showing. Playing against some competition, and I was pretty pleased with that. But knowing that we have so much work to do, and so we'll just keep grinding.
Thursday, the Red Devils were in Rushville. They had the red and white scrimmage on Friday. Rushville, I thought, was a really good test for you. They had a couple of big kids who could extend your defense quite a bit. And we're going to talk about this team individually in a moment. But I thought it was a good test for you guys. I thought it was a team that certainly gave you some fits at times, and you gave them some fits because of your quickness. If you were to assess that scrimmage, what did you like about it? What are some of the areas of concern once you walked off the floor that night?
Well, what I was really impressed with as far as our depth of our team, again, we don't have a superstar caliber Indiana all-star caliber player, but we have really good players that are we really have a team full of quality role players.
Right.
And we're going to ask some of our quality role players to assume more of a leadership role, maybe take on a little bit more scoring mentality, maybe be more of a defensive stopper mentality. And I think as we continue to gel as a group, we'll be okay. What I really was another thing I was impressed about, I thought we shot the ball fairly well. At times we may have relied upon the perimeter shot a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen us attack the paint, get to the rim a little bit more often. We did, rebounding, we didn't do a bad job. But I'd like for us to make sure that we're putting the body on the body every time the shot goes up so we can maximize our possessions. We shared the ball fairly well. I thought the ball movement was really well. The zone gave us some fits. The downside of the scrimmage, I don't think we did as good a job against zone. We haven't practiced as much against zone, and so that just put something on my bucket list to make sure we're getting done over the next week or few weeks. We'll make sure we're getting a little bit more ball movement, more ball reversals, and not be so around the perimeter, but more kind of punching each gap and kind of attacking and pitching and attacking and pitching. And then still attacking. Even if you get open, look, don't just rely on that open jump shot, because there's going to be some nights where the ball's just not going in the rim. And that could be at home. I mean, there's some environments, there's some arenas that we'll play at, some gyms we'll play at that the aesthetics of everything, it just won't be as good of a feel as we have in the Tyranny. So we're going to have to adjust and just be in more of attack mode. But for right now, I'm pleased where we are. And our guys have a tremendous work ethic here lately, and the attitudes have been great. Chemistry has been great, and I just want to make sure they don't get too comfortable where they are, and keep preaching toughness and keep preaching an attack mentality and being relentless. And so we got a lot of work to do with a lot of inexperienced guys.
We're one-on-one with head coach Rick Wedlow. We're here at the Tiernan Center. Of course, a lot of activity going on. IU East women practicing behind us, so you'll hear some activity going on, as you would expect during a school day like this. Holidays are coming up. School will be out starting on Wednesday, so your routine's going to change a little bit. We'll talk about that leading into your matchup against Hamilton on Saturday. And I remind you, again, no game on Wednesday. That's been rescheduled to January the 12th.
Yes.
So mark that down in your calendar if you did not know that already. Coach, you have a host of seniors on this team. This is a senior-laden team.
Yes.
Might be the most seniors we've had on a team in a long time.
Yeah.
But they don't have, as you said, you don't have that varsity type of experience with all of those players.
Sure.
Where do you go with these seniors to get them now to understand that this is their team? They have to take their game to the next level as senior varsity players.
Well, when I was named the head coach, I looked at our talent pool, and I really felt like that there are a lot of these young men that have given their all to Richmond basketball.
Yeah.
And fortunately for our program, our administration stayed from within, and it allowed for some of these guys to have a chance to play as seniors.
Yeah.
It could have been a situation where, we name the coach and this guy comes in and cuts all the seniors and go with the youth movement, and we just kind of struggle that way. But, I'm a loyal guy, and these kids have been loyal to the program, so I felt like these kids deserved an opportunity to be varsity players and true varsity contributors as seniors.
Yeah.
With that said, I think we have some inexperienced kids that can play. They just may not truly understand the varsity level of the game as far as the speed of the game, the physicality. Even though the game is called differently than it was years back, there's still a different physicality, and there's still a mentality of valuing possessions that I'm not sure if some of these guys really get it yet.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a couple of games getting on film, getting back into film in the classroom, just kind of teaching and just always teaching, basically.
Yeah.
It's going to be the next month and a half or so, it's going to be a lot of teaching on film. And so I look forward to getting some good film, and hopefully our guys will accept constructive criticism the right way, because that's my job. My job is to give our guys confidence, but also be real. And being real is making sure everybody's accountable. And accountability is going to be a big deal for us, and everything will be earned.
Yeah.
These seniors get the first crack at it. And, with all due respect to the program, if they're not getting it done, then we've got to look at our juniors. Then we have to look at our sophomores. And then we'll have to maybe take a look at some freshmen.
Yeah.
But I think these guys deserve the opportunity to go out and lead our group. I would really like for these guys to step up and be a little bit more vocal.
Yeah.
And they're just such great kids.
Yeah.
I just got a great group of young men that just rather be seen and not heard. And when you're a senior in the NCC playing for Richmond Red Devils, when you're a senior, you have to be heard and seen.
Yeah.
And so it's just a different mentality for some of these guys that we're trying to instill in them. You can be productive with your actions, but I need these guys to have more of a vocal presence and to let them understand that it's their team.
Yeah.
It's your team. I'm just kind of the captain of the ship. I just kind of make sure the ship is going in the right directions. You guys are the crew.
Yeah.
You guys are the crew of the ship. You guys will ultimately be a part of a lot of the decisions. That's kind of how I run it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of decisions we make as a program, we run it through the seniors. We talk to them about things we're doing, as far as practice and as far as, morning practices and stuff. I feel like they deserve that opportunity to contribute.
Yeah.
If we need to go in the morning, let's go in the morning. If you feel like we need to get in the weight room, let's get in the weight room.
Yeah.
If we need to get some more shots up, give me some feedback. And
right.
so I have that kind of an open door policy where if guys feel like, I don't think it's disrespectful. I think kind of old school mentality. If a player comes to you with an idea, it's disrespectful. It's my team.
Yeah.
But I think it's our team.
Yeah.
And the strength of the team is that we're a team.
Yeah.
And I just want these guys to really have a great year. And I'm excited for these guys. I think Adrian Gibson, formerly Burns, has unlimited potential.
Mm-hmm.
and unlimited ability. I think he can have a great year for us in a variety of ways, from scoring, being a good lockdown wing defender, rebounding. He's the kind of guy that has the athletic ability that can make a special play off of a tip dunk or alley-oop.
Yeah.
And we're looking for some exciting plays for him. Brendan Van Landingham has really had a good leadership role for us. The last couple of months he's been more vocal and he's rallied the troops when needed. Glad to see Evan Williams shooting the basketball pretty well. He can really stretch the defense for us. With the style of offense we want to play, we're going to have good spacing, and somebody's going to have to stretch the defense so they can't load up on the paint.
Yeah.
Really been pleased with Derek Clemens. Derek Clemens is kind of our steady Eddie. He's just kind of a quiet assassin type of kid where he's just not going to say a whole bunch, but he's going to go out and handle his business. So, of course, Tanner Coyle is our tough guy.
Yeah.
Tanner Coyle, he's the guy that's going to take the charge. He's going to get on that floor for the loose ball. And he's got a nice soft touch for a big fella.
Yeah.
I mean, we really work with him on pick and pop, stretch the floor with his trail 3 capability. And, starting out, we'll let the big fella shoot some.
Yeah.
But, in this business, you got to make them to continue to take them.
Yeah.
And all I ask our guys is if you're going to, at this level, you don't take the shots to take them. You take them to make them.
That's right.
And some guys' mentality is just, okay, I'm open, I'm going to shoot. No, we need you to knock down 60, 70% of open shots.
Yeah.
If we're making 60 to 70% of open shots off of good, crisp ball movement, then we have an opportunity to be successful.
Yeah.
And so some of our juice guys, our energy guys, I like Tyrone Washington. He's been bringing a lot of juice here lately. I think Mekhi Davis, who didn't play the last couple of years, I've talked to him in the halls the last few years about, getting back involved with it. And Mekhi brings a level of juice. I mean, he's talking. He's been a very good teammate, and I think he just needs a chance to get out and play and get some confidence and realize that he can be a contributing factor of our group without being a starter. And that's going to be a key for some of these guys. You got to start the game with 5 guys, but everybody can contribute.
Yeah.
In the ideal world, all 12 guys can play. Early on, we're going to get a look at as many guys as we can.
Yeah.
But, it's a production business. If you're not producing, if there's no production, then we hope that you'll be a good teammate and get prepared for that next opportunity. Because the opportunity is going to come via injury, guys get sick, guys just kind of go through some bad times, shooting slumps, just in a funk. And so the next guy up mentality is what we'll continue to preach, and hopefully everybody will take advantage of some of our opportunities. Another guy I'm really been happy with, I don't know if I mentioned Dominique Walker.
Right.
He's probably our most talented kid. I mean, he's an ambidextrous guy. I mean, he can finish both hands. He handles the ball very well, and he's a great passer. One of the things I've been talking to him is just kind of simplify it. He kind of reminds me of myself. My struggles as a player in high school is I tried to be a little too fancy, a little bit over the top, and I had more turnovers than I need to have as a point guard. And so with Dominique, we talk about just making a simple play. It's nice to do the no-look pass when it's definitely the right play to make, but just make the good chest pass, just make the good bounce pass, get it to deliver the ball in your teammate's shooting pocket, and just be simple.
Yeah.
When you have your moments to attack aggressively. He shot the ball well the last few weeks, and we're looking for him to be one of our defensive stoppers.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Dominique had a heck of a pass in Rushville, behind the back pass, so I can understand why. I know you say that, and it's very true, but it was a pretty nice pass.
Absolutely.
So
I mean, he's got some Sports Center type plays every once in a while, but those plays can also be turnovers if you're not throwing to the right person.
Yeah.
And the next level is you got to know your team.
Yeah.
Some guys can handle the no-look passes, and there's some guys they're just not ready for that
Yeah.
yet. And some guys, you got to look them in the eye and let them know, I'm coming to you, buddy.
Yeah.
And then some guys you can kind of no-look it, But, it's part of being a guard. And good guards know their personnel. They know the guys they can lob it to. They know the guys they can do a no-look bounce pass to. They know the guys they just gotta spoon feed them and hand it on the platter.
Yeah.
And so we'll continue to work with those types of things, mentality.
Yeah.
As far as playing the game the right way.
I had mentioned to you after the scrimmage on Thursday of last week, and I did not get a chance to watch you guys on Friday, but I have come to several of your practices. I haven't seen you play offense yet. It's been a defensive emphasis.
Sure.
And I think I want fans to know that too, that you're really knowing that, I mean, again, you don't know who your scorer is going to be yet.
Right.
But you really emphasize defense. Why?
Well, our fall camp was predicated on a lot of offensive skill development. And so coming into the real season, it's very important that our guys understand how we're going to win our ball games.
Yeah.
And our ball games is not going to be, playing fast and kicking it out to Mikey Tillman on the trailer. Mikey Tillman's not here.
Yeah.
Davis Webster's not here.
Yeah.
Joel Oakley, those guys are gone. They've been good for us, and they've helped put our program to the level that it's at. But we don't have those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And so on the defensive end of the floor, we're going to really have to be good communicators. I mean, we're really going to have to stop dribble penetration, the quality of the teams we're going to play. We're going to make sure we have to contest every shot. Every shot, I'm really focusing on contested shots, containing dribble penetration, helping under control, and knowing the personnel.
Yeah.
We do closeout drills where there's a couple type of different players. You got your Kobe closeout when this guy is just a stud.
Yeah.
And you got to close out on him, but you got to be careful and smart and know his tendencies and so forth. And then you got your Cal Corver guy. You got your guy just a spot-up shooter. They can flat-out shoot the basketball. And that's the guy you want to make him a driver. You want to chase him off that line. You want to make sure you got a hand in his face. And then you got the guy, we call it the Rajon Rondo closeout. Guy that's a good player, but, we want him to beat us from the outside.
Yeah.
So we're going to close out on him 2 to 3 feet, away from him.
Yeah.
And dare him to shoot. And so, as we continue to go, our guys hopefully will learn to understand the game plan and understand the opponent, and so obviously rebounding is going to be a key to that as well.
Yeah.
Because good defense is not good defense if you don't rebound.
That's right.
I mean, you can have a quality defensive effort, multiple efforts, close out, contain dribble penetration. But, if it's a long rebound and your guards don't get those, it's tough.
Yeah.
You give up a second shot, you get a long rebound, three-pointer. Those are some big momentum killers.
Yeah.
Or momentum makers.
Yeah.
And so the defensive end of the court is what any team you've seen me coach, Troy, that on the defensive end of the court, we're big on scoring off of turnovers and creating turnovers and trying to win the possession battle. And it's going to be important for us to win the possession battle where we can have more possessions than our opponent.
Yeah.
Or try to have more possession than our opponent. I mean, we got a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
And there's some teams that are going to be way more talented than we are, but we're going to have to make sure we go in and defend like crazy and every possession and just grind it out and be relentless.
Did you get the feeling that after the scrimmage on Thursday, I asked you kind of if they bought into it? At least from the outside, it looks like to me, and coming to some of your practices, they really seem to enjoy the defensive side and getting out there and getting those steals and such.
I think our guys are finally realizing that the defensive efforts from all five guys being on the string is going to be the key.
Yeah.
We've done our breakdowns from one-on-one full court, 2 versus 3 defenders full court, 3-on-3 full court. And so we try to make everything 84 feet. We want to, when we can trap, we want to maybe trap. When we can run and jump, we want to run and jump. But there are some good teams, some good guards that we won't be able to do that kind of stuff. and then that's where we're going to have to go back and and play our shell and communicate our ball screen actions and be on the same page. I mean, every game, we're going to, we may guard ball screens differently.
Right.
In the past, we were big on going under ball screens because in today's game, you've got a lot of kids that can play at the rim or they just face up spot up three.
Yeah.
A lot of kids aren't shooting off the dribble as they used to, and so a lot of last few years, I remember going to Joe and I said, "Hey Joe, why are we hedging all this stuff 30 feet from the basket? These guys aren't shooting the ball that well.
Yeah.
Let's just go under. Let's sit whoever's guarding the screen, let's sit them in the paint to help contain dribble penetration. Let's force these guys to shoot off some of this stuff."
Yeah.
You don't play against James Blackman every night.
Yeah.
And so that's been helpful for us. But this year, some of the opponents we play, there are some guys that can do that, shoot off the dribble. And so we're going to have to make adjustments to put ourselves in a good situation.
You don't have a whole lot of size. 6'6" is about your biggest, and there's just one of those, I think.
Sure.
And then there's a 6'4" sprinkled here there. Are you concerned about your size? You mentioned rebounding earlier.
Not at all.
Not at all.
I mean, if you notice the last few years, we had that group with Zach and Devin Thomas. Zach led Devin Thomas, and we had, Lucky and Innocent in practices with us.
Yeah.
But the year before us, we had Bola. So we had a 2-year stretch where we had Bola, there was an anchor. We had Zach. But if you look at, we made it to the Final Four with Antonio Brown being 6'2", playing in the pivot, and Adrian Burns with our three-headed monster out front. And so, you just got to be tough, to play this way. But, our sophomore group, we've got 3 6'4", 6'5" guys, coming through the ranks. And, could I put them out there in the varsity level right now? I could, but I don't want them to lose their confidence. I want to see those guys dominate at the JV level, and eventually maybe a Keyshawn Clemens or Colt Davis, or Noah Hartley. They may come along and help us down the road, but for now, I think the strength of our team is going to be our athleticism and our quickness, and we won't be very big, but we're not going to make excuses.
Yeah.
We are who we are.
Yeah.
And we're just a good group of young men that play the game the right way.
I can tell you this. You mentioned already Adrian plays bigger than 6'3". He's about 6'9".
Sure.
The way he jumps.
Yeah.
And then Bo is as skinny as he is. I mean, the kid's a great kid.
He's an athletic kid.
Boy, I tell you what.
He's just a raw kid.
And,
transferring from Michigan, I get on him every day. Indiana high school basketball is just a different level.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're from the region where I'm from, down south, Evansville, in the middle, Seymour, Bloomington, in southeastern Indiana, south central, the part where we're at. It's just a different game.
It
is. I mean, and we play the right way, and it's some good basketball, and you have to think the game. And right now, guys like Bo, he's just kind of instinctive, but we want him to intentionally know what he's doing and why he's doing it.
Yeah.
And so it'll come.
Yeah.
I've had a few people say he's raw, but you can't teach 6'5", 6'6". You can't teach just playing above the rim like he can.
Yeah.
We just got to get him stronger and just give him some tips and strategies on how to get some of his stuff off down there in the paint.
Nice thing about Bo is you got him for 2 years.
Yes.
So you'll get some weight on him, and really, because I know you've been very instrumental with post players and their success over the last few years.
Sure.
So I'm sure we're going to see that again too.
Oh
so.
yeah. Coming up, I worked a lot with Glenn Robinson when Glenn was in the league. We do our guard workout and then we do our big workout, and I remember Butch Carter coming to our high school when Glenn was a holdout, and you learned a lot of post drills.
Yeah.
And I've always kept that stuff. So being a guard that I was, people are surprised at how well that I know the post game. It can teach post game and footwork and step throughs, catch and face stuff and right, left hand jump hook and little Akeem shake stuff. So, post play is fun, and so it's part of being the coach. You got to be able to teach the bigs, you got to be able to teach the wings, the shooters, the point guards, defensive guys, and I know I have so much to learn, but the Lord has blessed me with realizing my strengths as a coach and also understanding what I need to get better at too.
By the way, I relate it to being a catcher and a pitcher. I mean, they kind of know each other pretty well. It's no different than a point guard and a big man.
Definitely, man. And in fact, I was a catcher all my life. That's when my knees are bad. I used to coach LaTroy Hawkins in Little League baseball.
There you go. Really? No kidding.
LaTroy is, 40, 43? I think he's hanging up this year.
Yeah.
But, I was a catcher, and I was always in that position where I was kind of an extension of the coach.
Right.
On the field or on the floor. In football, I was a middle linebacker, strong safety, a little fullback, and basketball, I was a point guard.
Yeah.
So always been in them roles where I had to communicate with my team, communicate with the coach, and try to make the game as easy as possible for guys.
Before I let you go today, and every Monday, and there's going to be some exceptions in there because during the Wet Egg on that Monday, we won't be here doing a show. We'll be out here doing all the games here at the Tiernan Center. But every Monday, one-on-one with Coach Wedlow at around 10:15. I say around 10:15 because first, number one, you never know about technology. Number two, you might get stood up a little bit and may not get over here in time, but we understand that, so just stick with us at around 10:15 or so. You mentioned the schedule already. It's been moved back a little bit. You're going to play Indianapolis Howell later. You're going to play Hamilton this week, but you already mentioned the schedule, and you look up and down there, it is going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. There are no nights off.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of like a good old-fashioned Big Ten schedule or one of them old school Big East ACC kind of schedules where even the guys in the bottom half of the division, they can come in your place and beat you, or you can go in their place and they'll lay the wood on you.
That's right.
And so, every night you got to we got to find 5 to 8 guys that are ready to compete and ready to fight and want to represent this Red Devil Nation with pride. And our program is at a level now, and we went 9-0 2 consecutive years in the NCC. And so I'm sure there are some guys that think we're just this wounded little puppy, a wounded dog out here where we're just gonna just limp in. And I tell our guys every day, we've got a bullseye on our chest.
Yeah.
Because we've been laying wood the last couple. We've been the wood layers.
That's right.
And now some folks they want to come get us.
Yeah.
And so we got to let them know that we're still here. And it's going to be tough, but it's going to be tough on us, man. When you look at down, early on, we got, after our first week at Hamilton, we got North Central. You got Chris Wilkes, top 10 player in his class, plus the Singleton kid. And they've got a couple other guys. I'm in that AAU circuit, so I'm in India a lot. So I've seen a lot of these guys play. They can go. And, C.J. Walker coming in right after that. And you got Marion with Blackman and Reggie. And, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
And then you throw in, East Central. They're going to be a tough team.
Yeah.
They're always going to be big. They're always going to have good shooters and play good defense. And, Jay County, that's not going to be an easy night going there.
Yeah.
Jay County, that'll be a tough night.
Yeah.
And, of course, Kerry Brown is, one of the best coaches in our area.
Yeah.
Of getting the most out of the talent that he's had. So I know Connersville's going to be tough.
Yeah. And you got
to
go
over
there.
we got to go to Spartan Bowl, and then after that weekend, that one weekend we have, I think we have Tech on a Friday, Connersville on a Saturday, and then we got to go to Dayton Dunbar on a Monday. It's like a league, an NBA 3 games and 4 nights schedule. And
who scheduled that, man?
I don't know, but hey, I just kind of take what they give me and roll with it. So it's gonna be tough, man. But we're not gonna make no excuses, man.
Yeah.
Competition makes you better.
It is.
That's my mentality.
Yeah.
If you want to be the best, you want to play the best, and ultimately, all this stuff is gonna prepare us in March when we go in Chrysler Fieldhouse, and we're going to try to figure out a way to win the section. At the end of the day, the WEDIC is the test. NCC tournament is another test.
Yeah.
But when we start getting to the finals, it's sectional time. And so everything we do is to prepare us to be ready for those different scenarios and, different styles of play. And I'm just, I don't know how things are going to go, but
take it day by day, right?
Take it day by day. I'm gonna bring my hard hat every day, and I'm gonna give these guys all I have, and I tell these guys I'm gonna do everything I can to put you in a successful situation. I just want you guys to meet me halfway.
There you go. All right. By next Monday, we'll have that first game under the lights on the road at Hamilton. Want to remind everybody, too, Coach, that there's a freshman JV varsity lineup, right?
Yes, there's a freshman JV varsity lineup, and some folks don't care for those nights. I think it's a good night. I think those nights, it's nice to have the freshmen be a part of the varsity night, and it's a special time for parents and family for those freshman kids, and we get a chance to, as a staff, we get a chance to evaluate all of our young guys.
That's right.
And show them that we care about them, and we're watching them, and we're pushing for them. And just because most of my time right now is geared towards our varsity guys, we've got a good freshman class. Not quite the numbers that we've had in the past, but I'm all about quality over quantity, and there's some good talent there. And our JV, even though we're a high senior laden team on the varsity level, but our JV, we kind of back to predominantly sophomores with maybe a junior or two in there.
Yeah.
And so with the 4 juniors we have, after this year, we'll get back to having our balance where we have 5 or 6 from each class that are really pulling that class. And our 8th grade group, my son Ricky and that group, they're going to be special too.
Yeah.
I've had those guys since 3rd grade, and just need a few of them to continue to grow. And Richmond basketball is going to be, we're going to be here to stay.
Yeah.
We're going to go through our growing pains this year, I know.
Yeah.
And but we'll take all those as good teaching moments and moments to grow and develop, and hopefully these young men make those proper adjustments.
Yep.
To keep our program at a relevant level.
All right, Coach, we'll see you next week, okay?
Thank you for having me, Troy.
Want to remind you once again, we'll have Saturday's game right here on RadioTroy.com. Pre-game, I believe, at 7. What's tip-off time? 7:30 for that game?
7:30.
So we'll be on the air at 7 with a tip-off at 7:30, and then we'll be back here next Monday, one-on-one with head coach Rick Wedlow. Thanks for being with us.